Oh, Hulk Hogan. This man is at it again in this video. I'm going to tell you what he has done that has fans talking. Look, there's no denying that Hulk Hogan is one of the biggest names in the history of the pro wrestling business. He is on everyone's Mount Rushmore. Whether you like him or you don't, you think he was overrated or underrated, the greatest worker in the world or not, the dude could cut a heck of a promo. He was a lot of people's childhoods. And for the 80s, the early 90s, and the late 90s, well, he was pro wrestling. Whether it was in his 80s and early 90s run as the red and yellow Hulkamania's running wild on you, brother, he would get beat down for 12 minutes before making a 4-minute comeback, hit the big leg, and start to listen to the crowd, or he got legitimately stale in the mid-90s. He was smart enough to see how the business was changing. He aligned himself with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, formed the NWO, and changed the business yet again. Without Hulk Hogan in the 1980s, WWE wouldn't be where they are today. Pro wrestling would not be where it is today, right? Things have changed. Hulk Hogan, he also has a reputation of just like making stuff up or legitimately, sincerely thinking something was accurate and just it's a complete lie. I've covered this on the main channel. I've talked about this in the past. There are just Google Hulk Hogan lies, like they're out there, right? Now, that leads us to today's video because he did a recent interview with The Outbound Life where he talked about how he had a guaranteed deal well before Kevin Nash and Scott Hall received such contracts in WCW. The three men, obviously, they changed the course of wrestling history. This is what he had to say. I don't know if it was Kevin Nash or somebody said there was never any guaranteed deals until we came along. I think Kevin Nash might have said that. When I came back, January 23rd, 1984, I won the belt, WWE belt, by the way. I was back a couple of months before doing TV. I had a guaranteed contract back then. I had a 10-year guaranteed contract. That was well before they signed Kevin Nash. That was 20 years before. Vince McMahon wanted to lock me down because at the time I had the gimmick figured out. I was hot. I was leading the charge on a lot of fronts. The guaranteed was constant. At the time, I started making movies too. I was making a couple movies a year. That was extra money on the side. There was a 1-900 number. It was a hotline that kids could call. They would get their parents' credit card and stay on the phone all night and talk to me. It was all pre-recorded messages about training and vitamins and storylines. I made a ton of money off the number. I was killing it on that. Doing movies, my merchandise was selling like crazy. Okay, well, just by reading that, you're going to come to the same conclusion that I did. He's wrong on a few fronts. Did he have the character locked down in 1984? No, he was still trying to find it. He found the origins of it in the AWA, but he was not full Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania at that time. The guaranteed, quote-unquote, money machine of the 1-900 numbers, and wasn't it like 1-800? Whatever. I don't think that came into play until like the later 1980s also. The movies? Yeah, he was doing some movies at the time, so that's a little bit accurate. Do I think that he had a guaranteed contract? No. Not a 10-year guaranteed contract. Here's the problem. Hulk, they had contracts in place for years. Vince McMahon, he would give you, what was it, like a 10-day guarantee of, or it was like a $1,500 guarantee. You were going to make at least $1,500 per year. That was the deal, right? Like they were very short. They weren't handing out long-term 10-year deals. And Hulk Hogan was a great businessman. Why in 1984 would you sign a 10-year deal? Like that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think Hogan is flipping on this. Let me know down in the comments there below.